welcome back to My Kitten Reads. I'm Eleanor and this is a Friday Reads video for the 24th of January. So, Friday Reads, what have I been reading? Well, today I did finish an Austen variation by Catherine Bilson, which is called, The Meddling Matlocks, which is very amusing because a storm caused the Earl and Countess of Matlock to seek shelter with their nephew Darcy at Netherfield. And they turned everything on its head. So that was amusing. I have also been to the gym. Only to walk because I'm having a little bit of a knee issue at the moment, and I had treatment with the chiropractor this morning and he was like, give it 24 hours to rest. So just walking. But I read another chapter of Decolonizing Methodologies by Linda Twai-Smith. I think that's her name. Which is the academic text I've been sort of working my way through slowly the last couple of years after my brother gave me a essays inspired by book. So which I thought, I read the intro to that and went, I should probably read the original text first. So it's slow going because it is an academic test. I did actually use it in an essay a couple of years ago. Speaking of which, interrupting myself, I am finally officially graduating. I've been slightly arguing with my university for the last couple of months after they suddenly decided I needed to complete a first year subject that didn't exist when I was a first year. They have now deemed the first year's English subject that I did do as that subject. So I am graduating. I found that out today. It's very exciting. I've been conferred my degree. So I will have a second BA. For those of you that don't know, my original degree was a double degree, a BA majoring in journalism and media studies and a Bachelor of Laws. This is a BA majoring in English literature. So I've been doing it for 10 years. I'm very relieved it's over. Like, I enjoyed it, but I'm also really ready to not be studying. So that's official now, which means also that I can turn my attention back to the Linda Twai-Smith text because I don't have other academics to distract me. Much of it is going over my head, although the chapter that I read today about notes on when she was writing it, which was about, I want to say 15, 16 years ago, something like that. It was early 2000s, I think. She mentions 9/11. This particular chapter I did understand a bit of because she was talking about the current situation for her at the time, particularly in New Zealand, but also around the world for Indigenous communities and the stage they were in that a lot of people have started to talk post-colonial. But for actual Indigenous communities, it's still not over. And they're still trying to figure out how they can function in the current world. So yes, I read part of that today. And so that is one of my gym books at the moment, which I might look at on Sunday when I do go to the gym. My other gym book at the moment is Uncanny Magazine issue 53. Once again, I'm behind on Uncanny Magazine, although not too far. I think this issue is from middle of last year, I think. If not, it's from the middle of the previous year and then I'm in trouble. Whoops. But yeah, so I'm about 25-30% of the way through that. I think I've read 3 stories so far. None of them have jumped out at me, but that's fine. They're still good stories. Uncanny Magazine ones always are. So that's what I've read today, and those 2 gym books will be, again, options for me on Sunday when I go to the gym. So what else might I read on this long weekend? Well, the main thing that I want to do is try and finish At the End of the River Styx by Michelle Kulwicki. So this is on my TBR for this month. I am about 30% of the way through it. It's reasonably enjoyable. I'm still not hugely attached to any of the characters. And it's quite dark. It's about the River Styx. There's a lot of death in it, which is not quite my thing. But still, it's a reasonably enjoyable read so far. So I'm hoping I can put some good time into this over the long weekend and finish it. So that would be good. when I have a need for some short fiction, but I want to actually read something physical but short, I have been reading Angela Carter's book of fairy tales. So I'm not very far into it because it's quite short. Essentially, if I read the introduction, and apparently she had done for this particular publisher, she had Angela Carter, who of course is a very famous writer and academic on fairy tales, and her the Bloody Chamber collection I love very much. She had done one collection for this publisher and was most of the way through working on the second collection when she passed away. So the publisher decided to combine both into one book, Angela Carter's Book of Fairy Tales. And it's essentially a bunch of fairy tales grouped into themes from around the world. So I've read, even in this short amount that I read stuff from Russia, from England, from Scotland, from Inuit stuff, various parts of Europe. So yeah, she's been collecting various fairy tales from around the world. So that keeps me mildly amused, and sometimes good for a little bit of a wind down before bed, to get off the screen, I guess. So that is also underway. I don't expect to get anywhere near finishing it this month at all. I think this is going to take me quite a long time, but it's there. The other thing that is on my list of things to read this weekend is a slight surprise, in that having just found out that I'm graduating with my English degree, I went to my Friday quiz at work for the first time this year, online, because I was working from home, which is a thing where just some people in the division get together, socialise, answer some trivia questions from newspapers. We've got some song lyric ones, but there was one about a line of a poem and which poet wrote that line. And it was something like, my love is like a red, red rose. And no one really knew. And I'd kind of gone, it sounds kind of like the Romantics, so we could always just go for the obvious Lord Byron. And then one of my colleagues piped up and said, I think it's Scottish, because she was fairly sure that she'd heard it recited in a Scottish brogue. At which point I piped up and went, well, if we're going Scottish, there's always Robert Burns. As it turned out, Robert Burns was the correct answer, and as it turns out, I have this collection of selected poems by Robert Burns on my TBR shelf. It's a very small collection. It's like literally, hang on if I can find, it's just over 100 pages long. But I thought, since I am now an English literature graduate, since I got a quiz question right where Robert Burns is the correct answer, with a bit of help from my colleague who suggested Scotland, might be time to actually read this little collection. It's a physical book on my TBR shelf, which goes towards my goals for the year. It's poetry, which I didn't read much of in 2024, so that would also be helpful. Short, quick to finish. So maybe I'll give this a go this weekend. Anyway, that's enough rambling. That's what I'm planning on digging my teeth into over my long weekend. And yeah, so yeah, as always, please like and subscribe. And well, I'm getting very close to 100 followers, guys. 100 subscribers. Come on, we can get there. And always happy to talk books in the comments if you want to raise one, particularly one of the ones that I'm currently reading. Although please, no spoilers, of course. Yeah, that's it for now. Bye.